Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Toulouse Sevens. This one, Samoa taking on the Australians. Now, Australia, they are currently sitting 2 from 2, getting themselves victories over Japan and also the Irish. Whereas for Samoa, they are sitting 1-1. They were victorious over the Japanese, but they did throw away their game up against Ireland, who have now got themselves a very handy lead over the Japanese. I believe the score currently sitting at about 60-0, which I believe now means that Samoa are in a very tough predicament. They need to win this game, and they need to win it extremely comfortably. They want any chance of making it through to the quarterfinals. Looking through at Samoa's starting lineup, the sides they need to get the job done. Valvasa Afasua, Levi Milford, Motu Opitai has moved into that starting lineup. Same with Milford. Both of them weren't there for the last matchup. Pauleti Slater, Fa'afoi Falaniko, Malu Latiro, and also Malakisi Masifau. Now, he was brilliant in the last match. Was his debut contest, was able to make the most of it. Anyone else? Says Distracted Sports. And there as well. Welcome in, Tony. Hope you are doing very well. George, I can explain. We were going to get you on as a bit of a post-match review, Tony. We were going to have the gang all back together. We got Tim on for that last one. But yeah, what did you think of the game? I feel like it was one of those games that didn't go anything like a lot of people anticipated and kind of ended on that little bit of an anticlimax, unfortunately. But hopefully you guys did enjoy it. I hear from the comment section that you guys were having a lot of fun over on your stream as well. For the Australians, will be Nick Maloof, Nathan Lawson, Tim Clements, Dietrich Roach, Darby Lancaster, Matthew Gonzalez, and Hayden Sargent, last man and the starting side. So currently the points differential is sitting pretty massive. Ireland are sitting actually at the top of the table. So I believe Samoa need to win this game by about 25 points, maybe 20 points, somewhere around there. And then they would actually go ahead of the Australians on points differential. I believe Hamish Demand says Nazi Williams. And also I hope Samoa win 26-15. It's going to be a close game. What do you think, Hamish? And have a good night. Well, have a great night. So you're all over there. We've got a long night ahead of us. We've still got the URC streams that are going in the middle of the night. And also we've got that. It was a frustrating old game. No fun. 2 cents can suck my balls. Is this actually Tony's account? Or is it? I assume this is the real Tony. I feel like you were probably in the same scenario as George was. George was bringing up the most controversial stuff he could think of. I was sitting there going, oh no, I'm going to get cancelled. But we made it through in the end. Bounce Manu Samoa says Blues Nate. And also met heaps of Hurricanes players. Got a free shirt. Nice. Got a selfie with Artie and Geordie. Artie Savi, a triple for him in his contest. They are just showing the team lineups once again. Va'a Pilamaliko not in the starting lineup, but off the bench, they will have Fa'amaoni Suitina, another man who is making his debut on this series. From what I've heard, very decent player. But now the two sides making their way out onto the park. So Valvasa Afasua, for the first time in a long time, will be the lone captain out there on the field in the starting lineup. Normally it is the other way around. I also asked Artie what his favorite food was. It was raw fish. Nice. I'm not a fan of raw fish, if I'm being honest, but Artie Savia, maybe I need to start eating it because he goes all right, doesn't he? But yeah, I've always thought of cooking the fish rather than eating it raw. Seems to be my better plan. Samoans, they did have their first loss up against Ireland, 12 points to 14. And that game was a big mistake. They kicked it away in the last moment. And it really cost them because they could have won that contest. But instead, it went wrong. Like before the game, they gave us free Hurricane shirts and flags. So you must have got a good combo deal of whatever you did to be able to get those free things. Must have paid something for the ticket. Or was it just like a little bit of a promotional thing that they had in there? With coconut cream, all good in there as well. Now they kick off. We are ready to go. Fa'afoi Falaniko gets us underway for this match. Best type of fish. I get into some. Is this Distracted Sports or is this a fake Distracted Sports? I'm going to go to channel just to see. It's the real Distracted Sports. I had to check just from that last promotion thing. This get into sun. Says Distracted. Well, we were actually talking about some sort of game show, or not a game show, but having you in our ear telling us what to say on a date when we go to Auckland, Tony. I'm sure you would be keen for that. Marinated that is, says Nutty Williams. Now nice ball out wide to Darby Lancaster. Good drive forward. Nathan Lawson now with the ball. It's me, says Distracted Sports. It sounds good, Nuzzy. Here's Nate. Now going across to the left-hand side. Dietrich Roach has got Lancaster on the outside. Does manage to find him as well. Missed tackle from Afoy Falaniko, but the tackle made by Levi Milford. You know it, says Distracted. And the thing is, I feel like you wouldn't hold back. So that would be quite fun. You have to get Mark in there as well. See how it goes. Nice run down the wing. Nathan Lawson, first try of the match. And it's going to be the Aussies who strike first and strike quickly. Only a minute for them to be able to score that one. Waratahs versus Rebels, mate. Are you going to watch after the 7? Says Josh. I will be giving, or Josh, sorry. I will be giving it a look. I saw that the Rebels were able to score themselves the early try, but I'm not too sure what the score is sitting at the moment. Nice work from a Lawson. First try of the contest, like I mentioned, and that really hurts the Samoan points differential. They might find themselves outside of that top 8. Be a big shame, but they are in a relatively tough group with the Australians and the Irish. There, that kick has gone over. 7 points to 0 now. Sorry, no, mum. No, really, I'm just inappropriate. Says Distracted Sports. It's crazy how similar in some ways yourself and George are, and then in some ways how similar myself and Mark are. It's like we kind of have the one who's doing the slightly, maybe not serious, but slightly more concentrated rugby, and then you've got the entertainment machine next to you who can just pump out a random joke or pump out a random thought, and everyone just loves it and wonders why you don't have him on the stream all the time. It is 14-14. Oh, high-scoring game. Nice run from Dietrich Roach here for the Australians. Currently, no possession for the Samoans in the first 2.5 minutes of this contest, but now dragged down 22 metres out from the line. Nick Maloof goes across to Gonzalez. This is looking dangerous. 1-on-1. Darby Lancaster inside ball, beautifully done, and that will be Matthew Gonzalez's first try of there. Hamish and I are the straight men, says 2 Cents Rugby. Welcome in, mate. We are in some regards. Although you wouldn't think so the way me and George were talking. We ended up on a topic of Grinder. I don't know how that happened, but it did. George called my mum kinky. He didn't mean to, though. It kind of just slipped off his tongue. He was like, she's kinky when she was walking away. So that was fun. That's a good try from Matthew Gonzalez. So 14 points to 0 now in favour of the Australians. The Samoans not going the way that they would have liked. In my prediction, I think I said that it was going to be 19 points to 14 for Samoa, so they better score some points soon. And all goods, I'm Hamish. I'm getting used to George's childish behaviour. He's all goods. He means well. In the end, doesn't need George. Georgie, a classic from the first live stream I seen in 2020, Hamish. Or Hammy. Miss those George friends. Here's the snooze. Yeah, he certainly keeps you on your toes, which is good in a way. Because like some of our late night recordings or like our early morning recordings after I've been sleep deprived are some of the funniest live streams that we've done. That was tackled in the air. Levi Milford going a little bit too early on Nick Maloof. Now takes a tap, goes across this left-hand side. Dietrich Roach got Lancaster on the outside, decides to use him now. 2-on-1 tackle. Nicely done. And if you're the straight men, does that make George and I the gay men? We have to find out when we come to Auckland. What? Maybe. Would you be keen on doing the thingy as well, Mark, where me and George have a hidden earpiece and we go on like a date with a lady or something, and we have you guys in our ear telling us what to do? And he does mean well, says Blues Nate. Oh, I'd hate doing that. Straight through. Social interactions are normally awkward at the best of times, but having an earpiece where you've got to say certain things is just asking to get punched in the face. Good try, though, from the Australians. They are on fire at the moment. Tim Clements this time manages to score the try. It's just back to back to back at the moment. And Samoa haven't touched the ball. Second half's going to have to be very big. Could get dodgy. Yeah, you'd have to do some sort of thing of there'd have to be rules. And you'd have to have the person who you're talking to slightly in on it, but not in on it. Like tell them that it's like for a game show or something. Stuff says, Amelia, are you live streaming at the moment? As well as Shannon, I know that the game was 14-all from what someone said earlier on. If the Australian says Nazi, that's the spirit. Very nice in Australia. Deep breaths being taken from the Aussies. Oosh, my bad. Says Nazi Williams. Currently, as the table would be sitting, the Samoans, not looking good for them. They would be in third as we currently sit. Although the Samoans should mention that they would end up being on 7 points at the end of this if they did get themselves the victory, but they need to win it by a lot. After I seen 2 minutes of you in 2 cent stream, just up because you crack up right on the balls. Says this news. Nice break of the line here once again for Tim Clements. Finds the offload to Darby Lancaster. Samoa. This is 6 minutes of defense that we have witnessed at the moment. That was knocked backwards from Matthew Gonzalez. Now the Australians with Tim Clements once again going to have another attacking chance. Levi Milford takes him down 10 metres out from the line. Counter ruck from Samoa, almost at the ball. Penalty goes the way of Samoa. Right, they need a try and they need it right now. They want any chance in this one. Back across to the right. I legit scrambled to get it all sorted whilst my MacBook was updating. That's how last minute it was, says Amelia. So are you live now, Amelia, or are you? Because I know you mentioned you were 6 minutes late, but I assume you are streaming at the moment. Maybe. But then you're also listening to this, so you're very good at multitasking. I will give you that. Right. The Samoans had the ball for half a second. Now it is going to be a scrum. Sorry, Nate, says Nazia Williams. Just a little bit high there from Nick Maloof, I think they ended up calling. No, sorry, it was the knock on and the breakdown. Ends up with Samoa in position. Now, if Samoa can score now, make the score 21 points to 7, going into the second half, they still have a chance. It's going to be a tough ask, though. Malu Latero about to feed the ball in. As they leave it out, Nazi. Says Nate, and do you think Island Sevens have Olympic qualification now, says Patrick? They're very close to it. I believe they're about, moved up to third, have they? That's another knock on from Samoa. So that will be the end of the half. 21 points to 0, and certainly a half to forget for the Manu Samoan Sevens side. Figured out how to use StreamYard with my PS4. Nice. I don't even know how to do that. StreamYard. I guess, do you just screen share, maybe? That Satyrs versus Blues game was boring. I don't know about boring. It was weird. Best way of describing it. It seemed like there was always going to be something about to happen, and then that something never happened. If that makes sense. Like, I thought at times the Blues were about to get back into the contest, then just a drop ball or a penalty to the Crusaders killed off that momentum. Quinton Strange getting that first try. We actually thought that they should have taken the 3, just because it seemed like it was going to be a very low scoring one, but they backed themselves, got themselves the 7 points. 3 tries, 4 visits to the opposition, 22. Samoa have touched the ball twice. And competitive, Hamish? Competitive, what for? For the Crusaders versus Blues game. Yeah, it was pretty even between the two sides. Either it is raining or that man is dripping. It might be the dripping man, though, I believe. Oh, so he is just pouring a lot of water on his head. Yeah, he ended up switching to the Sevens. Says no mum there. Yeah, definitely more possession needed in the second half for Samoa. Made 10 tackles, missed 7. Line breaks 4 in the end in favour of the Australians. Right. Big words and angry words from Brian Lima. If I had to say what he said in the simplest form, it was pretty much, what the F are you doing? Get your stuff sorted, is how I'd like to say that was said. And I was like, lads, hope you guys are good, not getting into trouble, says Bads Ablaze. Although I do have a question, Distracted. When did you get back from, sorry, Distracted's not your name, is it, Tony? When did you get back from Malaysia? It must have been quite recently, was it? I'm looking forward, everyone who hasn't already, if you like yourself a rugby podcast, 2 Cents Gets Distracted. It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube. Between the 2 channels, be sure to check it out. They talk all things rugby. I hope it's firing back up, or else that would be a big mistake to promote it if it's not going, but I believe it is. Next one coming out soon, I would assume, and then they're going to be doing it hopefully for the World Cup. Get all your insider knowledge from a couple classic Kiwi blokes. That's going to be the penalty going the way of the Australian. Nice. Says this news. I got a tiny new setup. So, yeah. Says Amelia. Now, Vavas Afasua in position. And this is the most position that they have had so far throughout this whole match. Oh, they gave away the penalty. So now the Australians will get the ball back. Isn't the Sevens break in between? Lots of momentum into this weekend Sevens. Oh, it's going to be a yellow card as well. Just gets worse for the Samoans at the moment. Masifal will be going to the bin for the 2. And now Australia, they'll certainly be able to make the most of this. Dietrich, Roach, Big Fen coming there on. Latero look for the miracle offload. W. Lancaster knocked the ball on in the process. It will now be a scrum feed for the Samoans. I don't believe a draw benefits them. I believe they have to get themselves the victory here, or else they'll be going home. Well, not home. They get another game, of course, the semi-final for 9th place. And we will be covering the semi on the channel, but not the quarters, unfortunately, due to URC live stream overlaps. Yeah, Connacht versus the Stormers should be a very entertaining game. That is kicking off at 2 a.m. New Zealand time. Alongside that, we have also got 4 more games of the Sevens coming a bit later on. Or in fact, 3, sorry. There's going to be Great Britain taking on Argentina. We've got USA taking on South Africa, Fiji versus France, and then also maybe one of the quarterfinals. We'll try and fit that in before the URC goes live. Now, it's going to be a scrum feed for the Samoans. Ball goes in, stolen there from Australia. Oh, no, he got it the wrong way around. Actually, a Samoan penalty. Okay, so gold were penalised, which does mean now that the Samoans have got the ball back. They're playing as a 6-man side, going to break through, and it just doesn't seem like it's quite happening for them at the moment, which has been the case for a majority of this competition, unfortunately, not finding that next gear. Now going off to the left-hand side, Sione Tuipulotu, good low tackle made on him by Dietrich Roach. Now it's stolen in the breakdown. Penalty goes the way of Samoa, though the hands were down before getting back onto the ball. Goes Samoa, says those so 685. It looks like there might be some sort of injury here for either. It is either Paul Scanlon or Puiti Slater. I know that both of them are the two who wear the headgear for the Samoans. I can't quite tell from this angle, though, who it is who's down. Oh, no. It's Suetana. I thought he had headgear on. It was just his hair, which I guess in some regards could be considered as headgear. Just on a technicality. Foi Falaniko kicks the ball into touch. Decent kick as well. They've got 5 minutes to score 4 tries. That's not easy to do. Definitely because they are down a man at the moment. Like this. We'll go like this. 10 seconds remaining of the yellow card. Now back across again. Sargent goes to Roach inside ball to Lancaster, but he's opened up early by the Samoans. Now Matthew Gonzalez goes to the short side out to Dietrich Roach again. And win or lose, give thanks. The man above says the Uso 685. Dietrich Roach set out quickly now down the short side. Matthew Gonzalez cuts back in. Now Darby Lancaster again. Almost going through wide. Cut out pass out to Nathan Lawson. And he gets another try for the Australians. That is now 26-0 against Samoa. And all is off for Samoa, but they fought well, says Kevin Layla. So, yeah, they will still have their next game coming up just around the corner. And I believe, who do they match up with? So, Fiji versus France, that is one that is confirmed. We are in Pool D. So, it would be at 2:10 that they do play off against the team who are 4th in Pool A. So, 4th in Pool A at the moment is sitting as Kenya. So, Kenya versus Samoa, that's a great game of rugby that sadly we won't be able to cover due to the semi-final of the URC, but we will keep you guys updated with what is happening in it. But 3.5 minutes remaining now. The Samoans 26-0 down. Going to be tricky for them. Sir, when will Samoa Sevens play again? So that is at 2:10 a.m. But the next game that they play after that, I believe, will be at about 10 p.m. tomorrow night, which we will be covering on the channel. That one will be happening. But yeah, the one before that, it is going to be 2:10 a.m. Right. Reese Longbottom about to kick this one off again for the Australians. Referee just getting back into position. Time is back on, ladies and gentlemen. Still got 3.5 minutes left. I would like to see the Samoans come out of this game with at least 1 point on the board, get themselves a try, slightly build their confidence going into the next game up against the Kenyans. And now they are going to be going to the short side. Great low tackle made on Va'a Pilomaleko, and it's a knock on from Samoa in the breakdown. Every time at the moment in this contest, it just seems to be going that little bit wrong when they try and get that next move going. Okay, 33 is going off for the HIA, which I believe would be Suitina. He was the man who only recently made his way onto the field as one of the debutants. Now has to make his way back off, and that is for Valvasa Afasua, who will be replacing him. Pila Maliko tying up the bootlaces, making sure they're nice and secure. Are you going to live stream the New Zealand men and New Zealand women? I'm hoping to. Tomorrow night will be when we do end up doing a lot more of it. It's just been with the Super Rugby going on. They've been overlapping quite a bit. Yeah, tomorrow we should get plenty more of the Kiwis playing. We might even get their quarterfinal, depending on what pool they are in. We've got a gap where there's about 1 or 2 games we can cover of the quarters. I believe just the one. But I don't think New Zealand are involved in that one. Now it's going to be out wide to Turner. Pierce his way down the outside. Joining at the breakdown, it is Josh Turner. So quite a few changes being made for the Aussies here, and it seems like it's not really going to affect the momentum. Lawson now has the ball, received the pass from Delly Bird, picked up nicely by Tim Clements. Now Longbottom going across again for the Australians. Turner goes off to Sargent. On the field since the start, hasn't been looking too bad at all throughout the first 12 minutes of this one. Oh, that looked forward. Nathan Lawson does the grubber in behind, but nicely taken by Latero. He's come out of nowhere to be able to regain that ball for the Samoans, but now the Australians back in position. Maurice Longbottom going across now to Josh Turner. Going to find that pass on the outside to Sargent, and he does. Nice step forward about the offload to Jimmy Turner, but instead goes to Maurice Longbottom. Wide cut-out pass going across. Delly Bird fighting for that one, but doesn't end up with it in his hands. Instead, Samoa with Motu Opitai does have the ball now. Now Milford, rough pass there. Pila Maleko not looking happy with that one, as Samoa just don't seem to have any momentum as they try and make their way forward. Latero thought about the wide pass, going to try and cut through the middle. Samoa not going to qualify for the Olympics. Although they're still sitting pretty decently at the moment. I believe they are in 5th. We've got to remember that France already have automatic qualification due to them being the host nation. Now, nice break of the line here for, it's going to be Levi Milford. He's trying to win the foot race. He's going to get chased down at the 22. Brilliant tackle made by the Australian. Ball still available, though, for the Samoan. You can see that Lawson has gassed himself just trying to make that tackle. Now Samoa just looking for the passing option. You've only got 5 players with them. The other 2, I believe, are way further back. Delly Bird trying to shut down via Pila Maliko. Misses the tackle now. And Samoa carving up the middle. Latero does well. Puts the ball up again. The man who was yellow carded. He's going to be tackled a little bit late there. That probably should have been a penalty, and it does become one. And the snooze has got the eyeballs in there as well. But yeah, Mussy foul tackled late. Now we're into the final moments. Milford is so something. I'm not sure what that means. Also, there's still time. 2 years' time, our number 1 team, to Samoa, is back in business. There's the USO there as well. Right, Samoa about to take the quick tap here. Fa'afoi Falaniko. Back across the right-hand side. Now Va'a Pilomaliko steps. Nice fin there. Going through Maurice Longbottom. Gonna tackle. No, he stays on his feet. And Samoa do get some points in this contest. Just nowhere near as many as they wanted. It is going to be the end score of 26 points to 7. That will mean Samoa playing off in the 9th place quarterfinals, whereas in the other side of things, Australia and Ireland will be making their way through to the quarterfinals. I think Samoans, they'll be disappointed. That should not be 26-0. That should be 26 points to 7 against the Samoans. But nonetheless, the next game that we are covering is at about 11:30 p.m. New Zealand time. That will be the matchup between Argentina and Great Britain. And after that, we have got USA versus South Africa and also Fiji taking on the French. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, you want to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you all for the next one.